everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR army. An army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. As you can see from the title and thumbnail of today's video, today we're going to be talking about the atheist leftist streamer Destiny. And more specifically, we're going to be talking about how Destiny recently incited violence against conservatives in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, and we're going to see that Destiny lied about being censored by Twitch recently. Let's start with the first thing, though. We can see on screen here a tweet by Right Angle News Network that says, "Breaking. Stephen Bonnell, also known as Destiny, calls for conservatives to be killed more often so they will be afraid to attend events or speak out." Let's listen to this whole 51-second clip.
Out the crime statistics?
Not exactly like...
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games, okay? I'm done today. I don't give a fuck. God, it's going to be so fucking gay if I get killed in the next fucking 2 months of shit I'm doing. Well, the cucked shit out here. Please don't anybody make any actual fucking... the most cucked, weak-ass, fucking bullshit-ass speeches on my side. God, if it happens, holy shit. I'm going to make a death note before I go out to go live and not... God, it's so cucked. It's so optics cucked.
So, as we could see in that clip, Destiny says that conservatives need to be worried about being killed if they attend events like the one that Charlie Kirk was assassinated at. And the problem right now is that even after the Charlie Kirk assassination, we're still not afraid of attending events like that. And we're not afraid specifically of being killed in the way that Charlie was. Now, I can see how this can be construed as an incitement to violence because literally, just a few days earlier, Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a leftist who was dating a trans furry. And what is Destiny's big response to Charlie Kirk being assassinated? Does he say, okay, guys, we cannot be committing violence against conservatives no matter how wrong they are, no matter how stupid they are? No. Destiny says conservatives need to be killed more often so that they will be afraid to attend events or speak out. And the problem is it doesn't happen often enough for them to be afraid of that when they go to an event like this. So therefore, by Destiny's logic, this needs to happen more often so that conservatives and Christians like me will be afraid to attend events like the one that Charlie Kirk was assassinated at because, well, I guess living is more important than staying true to who we are. I don't know. But yes, this is definitely an incitement to violence. This also could fall under terrorism's definition. According to Google, terrorism is the use or threat of violence to instill fear and achieve political, social, or ideological goals. Wow. So Destiny says that right now conservatives are not afraid of being assassinated when they go to events like the one that Charlie Kirk was assassinated at. So what needs to happen is more and more conservatives need to be assassinated at events like that so that they will then become afraid of going to events like that, and therefore they'll stop going to events like that and they'll stop speaking out. Literally, the definition of terrorism. Destiny is talking about the use of violence, in this case outright murder, to instill fear in conservatives and achieve the political and social goal of stopping conservatives from going to events like the ones Charlie Kirk hosts, and to ultimately stop conservatives from speaking out lest they be assassinated like Charlie Kirk was. What Destiny said is literally a terroristic claim. What he says is an incitement to violence that can cause terrorism to occur. He's literally calling for terrorism to occur so that conservatives will be afraid and not speak out. This is outright disgusting. Dustin Mills said in response to this same video I was looking at, Stephen Bonnell, also known as Destiny, calls for conservatives to be killed more often so they will be afraid to attend events or speak out. This man needs to be arrested for inciting violence against traditional Christian conservatives. I said in response to this post and video, this kind of stuff is exactly what led to the Charlie Kirk assassination. And yes, it is. Because if these trans leftists who are prone and susceptible to carrying out violent acts against people they disagree with, or to watch Destiny's stream in light of the Charlie Kirk assassination, they're liable to actually carry out what Destiny said, because after all, words are violence. Conservatives criticize transgenderism. They don't affirm it. Therefore, they are doing what is the equivalent of pulling a weapon and using it on trans people when they criticize transgenderism and they don't affirm it. And if just enough trans leftists assassinate just enough conservatives in open-air public meetings like the Charlie Kirk assassination, that might cause the conservatives to keep their mouths shut about trans people. Just like how atheists, for the most part, refuse to speak out against Islam because they know that jihadis will come murder them and their families. Islam did things the way that these leftists like to do things. Islam has the jihadis wipe out all critics of Islam through murder and assassinations. And the end result is that weak-minded fools who are afraid to die, well, they'll stop criticizing Islam because they know that someone somewhere will die, possibly even them, if they criticize Islam, due to the violent outbursts of lots of Islam's adherents. The trans community is essentially starting to adopt the methods of Islamic jihadists. Just outright murder and assassinate your critics, and eventually people will shut up. Steven Crowder said in response to the tweet I read originally, Destiny is out here spewing terrorist threats that would make Osama bin Laden blush. But yes, please, lecture us on how it's conservatives that need to turn the temperature down. And then, just a couple days ago, Destiny put out a tweet saying, keep in mind, this entire backlash online started simply because I said that the President of the United States should take the lead in disavowing violence for once in his life, and now conservatives have lost their effing minds. Crowder's CEO G. Morgan Jr. said in response, actually, Stephen, this is all because you called for violence against conservatives so they would be too afraid to speak in public. Hope that clarifies it for you. That's right, G. Morgan Jr. This entire backlash against Destiny is not because of Destiny's tweet where he claims that he's calling on President Trump to take the lead in disavowing violence for once in his life. And that conservatives are losing their mind over that. No, they're losing their mind over you inciting violence towards them in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination. By literally saying the problem is that too many conservatives are not afraid to speak out in public because these kind of assassinations don't happen often enough. Therefore, by your logic, they need to happen more so that conservatives will be too afraid to speak out in public. You're literally inciting violence towards Christians with your rhetoric, Destiny. That's why people are freaking out on you. We just had a political assassination on a conservative activist in open-air public, and your response is, we need more of this! That's literally an incitement to violence. But it doesn't stop there. Destiny then claimed that he had been banned from Twitch over this. Destiny said, unreal! Elon Musk and other conservatives just got me banned from Twitch. My entire income is gone now. So much for the party of free speech. And then he posts a email from Twitch saying, hey, Destiny, you've been banned. There is just one problem with Destiny's tweet here. It's a lie! You scroll down just a little bit and oh look, a community note. Destiny was already banned from Twitch in March of 2022 and has not streamed on the platform since. He is, however, active on Kick and YouTube as well as his own website. So you catch that, guys? In the wake of all these leftists who are claiming that their freedom of speech is being attacked because some of them are being fired from their jobs and having bad things happen to them as a result of inciting more violence against conservatives or cheering on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, So Destiny decides to grift off those people by falsely claiming that he just got banned from Twitch because of conservatives coming after my free speech, only for us to find in the community notes that he's lying his off. And think about that, guys. Destiny is so convinced that leftists in general are so gullible and dumb and stupid that he can falsely claim that he was just banned from Twitch in light of the whole Charlie Kirk assassination response, and he omits the fact that he's been banned from Twitch for over 3.5 years. He's literally grifting off of the leftists who are claiming to be for freedom of speech by falsely claiming he was just banned from Twitch within like the last week or so, instead of the fact that he's actually been banned from Twitch for over 3.5 years. But for devil's advocate, let's just pretend that Destiny is telling the truth. Let's pretend that he did just get banned from Twitch for inciting violence against conservatives on a recent stream. Well, we have to ask, is inciting violence against people protected by the First Amendment? Let's ask Google. So I asked Google, is inciting violence against a group of people protected by the First Amendment? And Google's AI overview said in response, no. Inciting violence against a group of people is not protected by the First Amendment and can be punished by the government. The Supreme Court has established a narrow standard requiring the speech to be directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and be likely to incite or produce such action to lose protection, according to the precedent set in Brandenburg versus Ohio. So you hear that, boys and girls? Inciting violence against conservatives is not protected by the First Amendment of the United States of America. That is the ruling of the U.S. Supreme Court. So even if Destiny wasn't lying his butt off, and even if he was just recently banned from Twitch instead of 3.5 years ago because of his recent comments inciting violence towards Christians and conservatives, his speech is still not legally protected by the First Amendment of the United States of America, and he is therefore subject to anything that happens to him. So if he gets banned from Twitch or YouTube or Kick because of what he said, well then he deserves it. He earned it. It's justified. As a matter of fact, it's the right thing to do because his speech literally falls outside of the First Amendment protections because it is inciting violence against a group of people that we call conservatives. Now, before you get all crazy in the comments, I know that the First Amendment protections is not about specifically protecting conservatives from incitement of violent speech. It's applied to any people group. I get that. But in response to the current video that we're in, it applies specifically to conservatives. People like Destiny are literally inciting violence against conservatives after the Charlie Kirk assassination. I mean, Destiny is literally on video saying this needs to be a lot more commonplace. We need more conservatives to be murdered at events like this so that they'll stop coming to events like this and speaking their mind. That's literally what he's implying and saying. But how can you expect any different behavior from a leftist, atheist streamer like Destiny? People like Destiny, they don't have morals. They don't have an ethical code that stops them from doing stuff like this. They don't have some kind of objective moral standard outside the human mind that tells them that calling for violence against people you disagree with is wrong. There's no objective moral standard outside the human mind, according to people with Destiny's worldview, about lying, about getting censored in order to get people on your side and to grift off of them. There's nothing wrong with that, according to the leftist atheist view that Destiny holds. And before we peace out on this video, I know that there are plenty of atheists out there who are not scumbags like Destiny. I get that, but a lot of the atheists on the internet are scumbags like Destiny, and so this video is just another example of a scumbag internet atheist doing what scumbag internet atheists do, which in this case primarily is inciting violence towards people that he disagrees with ideologically and lying about being censored on a social media platform in order to grift off the current trend of leftists being all, "my free speech."